you fully understand the past, there's nothing you could encounter in the future that would surprise you or really catch you off guard. We've all sat through a history class and put our head down, let it go through one ear, out the other one. But we likely did this with good reason. Oftentimes, the mandated curriculum for history is usually a boring buildup of whatever the state decides is the most important bits for you to kind of hang on to. Um, Beyond simply being a basic course of education, though, studying history provides a multitude of interesting benefits, like realizations of how often history truly repeats itself and the various valuable lessons that you can find within really any story throughout history. One major key about history is that history repeats itself far more than anybody would really expect. One example of this is the way in pop culture media tends to run with certain stories regarding the death or disappearance of important figures or celebrities in any case. Some major instances of this occurring would be with Tupac or Elvis. These are instances where major societal figures died and conspiracies, maybe not immediately, but eventually arose, kind of trying to come up with any sort of excuse as to where they would have gone. Oftentimes, like with Tupac and Elvis, these resemble more escape tactics or events where somebody just runs away and wants to run away from the limelight. This isn't the first time we've seen this, though. Dating all the way back to the periods of Napoleon, Alexander the First, after falling gravely ill, uh, just passed. But due to due to previous like situations where he was kind of trying to leave his castle, vacation in other places, things like that, basically get away from his kingly duties. Uh, People immediately began running with stories that he's not actually dead. He just was tired of being king, decided he wanted to go somewhere else and hide, as people have kind of theorized with other popular figures. Another example of this is slander between political candidates. Uh, this has been going on since elections were being held. I mean, it's if you look back throughout history, even recently throughout our elections, you can take a deep dive into what candidates are saying about each other, and oftentimes the majority of it isn't true or it is in some way heightened or exaggerated. Uh, Really, any king, any political situation has seen something relating to this. Another major reason why history is important is that it provides you an opportunity to learn from others' mistakes so that they don't become your own. Uh, One huge example of this is the sinking of the Titanic. Um, at the time, the Titanic was believed to be an unsinkable ship, a marvel of mechanical and human capability. I mean, nobody thought it could sink. They wanted to stuff as many people could be on it. It was an entire spectacle. And due to this overconfidence about its abilities, many people died. Uh, while there isn't exact reasons as to why it sank or why so much life was lost, it's oftentimes been summarized in a few things. The major loss of life was due to a lack of lifeboats. a lack of sufficient lifeboats for everybody to get on. And another was the manner in which they built the ship, which allowed water, once it penetrated one chamber of the ship, to travel within the ship to the other chambers. Basically, meaning one hole resulted in the flooding of the entire ship. This was not the first time we saw this, though. An example of through history is the Texing sinking, which was a Chinese ship from 90 years ago, which faced, unfortunately, uh, similar issues and similar fatal flaws. The way the ship was built meant that one collision caused one hole, which resulted in the whole of the, at the time, believed unsinkable ship sinking to the bottom of the sea. And the reason that the vast majority of the individuals on top of the ship passed was because of a lack of lifeboats. They did not account for how many people would be on the ship and how many lifeboats they would need in the event that their unsinkable ship eventually sank. So again, if they would have just, not been blinded by their own overconfidence in the abilities of what they created, and took in time to properly understand the history of major shipbuilding and the the failures that they experienced along the way, the Titanic could have become the success story that we all expected it to be, or maybe not us, but the people at the time. The final major point I would like to express is that having a good understanding of history allows you to improve your understanding of different people and different societies. I'm always looking for ways that I can improve myself and ease uh you know ease expressing to others, positive ways to interact with different people. um Understanding where an individual comes from and the struggles that not just them personally, but uh the people that they've grown up with, and basically the general culture of people allows you to have a deeper understanding of who they are, and how you should basically interact with them and treat them. I mean, we've all heard the saying that you shouldn't judge somebody before you walk a mile in their shoes, and history provides you a perfect way to really maybe not literally walk in their shoes, but to figuratively do it and understand everything that has led them up to where they are currently. Ultimately, history provides more substance to an individual's life, but due to the but due to the uninteresting nature of how it's taught, you really wouldn't know it. Uh, you could start where you're interested and really watch how expanding your understanding on the world's benefits who you are within and the perception of the world around you.